Again, welcome to this 6th Annual Mayor's State of the City Address. Mayor, council members, ladies and gentlemen of this grand community, it is with a great deal of pleasure that I have the honor to represent the Chamber, the voice of the business community of these grand cities, and particularly this opportunity to introduce the Mayor of Grand Forks, one of our 2 grand communities. We are happy to host this 6th Annual Grand Forks State of the City Address. We present this program as a part of our continuing efforts for our members and the public to support the relations and rapport between the business community and the local government. We do not always agree, but we respect each other's positions. We do not always agree on the restraints and regulations on business, but we do appreciate the order and stability that government creates. We do appreciate the support, encouragement, and incentives for business, but sometimes question the challenges it creates. I want to thank Mayor Brown for his leadership and commitment to working with the business community, and that encompasses not only the traditional retail, service, manufacturing, and processing businesses, but also the education and the nonprofit organizations in our communities. Mayor Brown, as many of you know, but certainly deserves repeating, has not only served this community as mayor since the turn of this century in 2000, but more importantly, as a doctor growing our community by helping women deliver healthy babies. I do not know how many, but I'm sure he does. He has also served our community and our country as both an enlisted man and an officer in the Air Force. He has gone to school here, graduating from the UND School of Medicine. He and his wife have raised a family here and appreciates the quality of life that this grand community provides. Mayor Brown, from his commitment, life experiences, and activity, I'm sure subscribes to a quote from a North Dakota adopted favorite son, Teddy Roosevelt. In Paris in 1910, with the challenges facing the world and this country in the early part of the last century, said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again. Because there is no effort without error or shortcomings. But who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself for a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who knew neither victory nor defeat." I know that Mayor Brown is an individual and public servant that learns from the past but does not dwell on it, but looks ahead to the challenges and the opportunities. And it is now time to hear about that from Mayor Brown. Mayor Brown, the microphone, the podium, and the audience is yours.
Well, good afternoon and welcome. I want to thank you all for being here today for the Grand Forks 6th Annual State of the City Address. The State of the City was introduced in 2003 to provide you with some assessment of the major accomplishments of the past year, and from the video you can see there were many, and a view of the major challenges that lie ahead. Moreover, it's a first-hand statement of where we are and a vision of where we can be. I want to thank the Chamber for being our host and partner for this occasion and for 5 previous addresses. The partnership with the Chamber, the business community, and the city have never been stronger. Good luck to the new chair, Jerry Youngberg, and welcome to the new Chamber President, Barry Wilfart. I look forward to working with you to strengthen our relationship even further. Let me also take this time to welcome back the men and women of the 188th Air Defense Artillery who returned last month. It's good to have you home. Yep. And General Palmer from the North Dakota National Guard and Colonel Hull from the Grand Forks Air Force Base, it's good to have you here today too. Thanks to all the service members and their families, and thank you for your commitment to our freedom and our country. Please stand. again. Yep. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. A particular veteran and friend we have lost recently is Council Member Bob Brooks. He was more than a public servant. He was a servant to this community and to his family and to us all. He's a friend to many of us, and he will be missed. His wife Phyllis is with us here today, and I want to say thank you. He will be missed. Family is so important, so I want to take this opportunity to thank my family. My wife Ann is here today. I depend on her support, and I depend on her to give me good advice. So thank you for being here today. I also want to recognize the administration. We never want to cut out the applause for the wife. We want to make sure she gets recognition so we can continue this. I want to recognize the administration and personnel of the City of Grand Forks. Their dedication to serving the citizens and implementing our direction is invaluable. I'm proud of the environment that permeates city government. It empowers leaders to lead, administrators to administer, and workers to work well. I'm proud mostly of what good people do when they're given a chance to do good. That's our city employees. Much of the accomplishments I'll be talking about today belong to the city as a whole. Tending to the policies that make this possible are the city council members. They have led us well and have the best interests of the community and their wards in mind. I appreciate the cooperative nature of the council. It's one where staking positions is respected, but in the end, the disagreements are rarely disagreeable. Please stand to be recognized. Council. Council. And we'd also like to welcome all the other elected officials, county, parks, schools, and state, and thank you for being here. I'd also like to recognize Mayor Staus and any East Grand Forks City Council members that are present. When I say our community, you know I mean both East Grand Forks and its satellite, West Grand Forks. So thank you for being here. And I was pleased to see you bringing statues back, because my in-laws came all the way from Rugby to have their pictures taken with your statues last time. So it's good we're keeping people on the move here. There's much to be proud of looking back over the past year. There were many landmarks and many accomplishments, and we can expect more. In short, the state of the city is strong, vibrant, and primed. Our partnerships are strong, our economy is vibrant, and our community is primed for even greater success. We've set goals that are ambitious but possible. We've been aggressive but practical. We've set the bar high, and together we've topped that bar. Flood protection, destination city, destination hotel complex, thriving downtown, Greenway. There's a pattern of credibility in our past actions. There's a level of trust that we, our community, can make things happen. There's a sign on one of the doors in my office, been there for 7 years, that says, leadership is to serve, to give, to achieve, together. As a community, we've come together. We've matured to a point we believe in ourselves. We invest in each other, and we achieve together. Today I'll be talking about our core mission to protect and serve, our financial position, critical missions like the air base and the airport, work on several workforce housing fronts, economic development, and growing our workforce and our community partnerships. I'll also introduce a couple of ideas and a challenge to the community. So let's start with the first order of business, our core mission to protect and serve. This year has followed a familiar pattern of accomplishment and steady progress. Steady progress such as siting the regional landfill. I have full faith the landfill will be in next year's accomplished category. The landfill is a clear example of a difficult decision where there's no popular solution, but there's a real need for some solution. It reminds us that we don't make decisions because they're easy or because they're popular, but because they are right. And we'll have to ask Mr. Phelan what he's going to do with all his spare time after we site this landfill. Flood protection was one project we were able to put in the completed column for this year. This last spring, we were joined by local, state, and federal leaders to celebrate the amazing feat of completing a $400 million flood protection system. This was a long process, and we remember times when it felt like the progress was slow, but we had the end goal in mind. We worked together, city, state, and nation, and more importantly, along with neighborhoods and community organizations. We invested our time and our resources, and we remain dedicated to the highest purpose, protecting our communities. Our community is now out of the 100-year floodplain. This reduces the cost of flood insurance for individuals and businesses. It increases the security with which we invest in our homes, our businesses, and our community in general. We need to continue to thank Senator Conrad, Senator Dorgan, and Representative Pomeroy. They were invaluable in the process and are invaluable now. In conjunction with the Flood Protection Project, we developed one of the best recreational facilities around, the Greenway. Only a few short years ago, there were doubts about a 2,200-acre recreational area shared by our cities. There were questions about the level of usage, but greater than the doubts was a vision of what could be. Both cities pressed forward, and we are the better for it. The campground in East Grand Forks had a record turnout last year. The multipurpose trails, even in this weather, rush with activities from walking, running, biking, blading, skiing, and a dog park, and that's Maya getting ready to romp with her friends. To protect and serve our core mission, we have supported the personnel, the resources, and technology our first responders deserve. We are committed to providing the resources to make sure that every situation they walk into, they can walk safely out of. This includes the Public Safety Training Campus. The council worked with our departments to ensure the end product would not only be a tremendous resource for our people in the entire region, but that it would be designed and operated efficiently. We look forward to opening it up this year and letting the training begin. This commitment to a safe place to live, learn, work, and play is evidenced in the numbers. Our overall crime remains well below national averages. Indicators like response times are down for all police priority calls. And while our fire department has had an increase in responses from 3,200 to almost 3,500, there was almost a decrease in half by the total fire losses from $880,000 to $480,000. Our efforts to erase domestic violence and our support of a coordinated community response program, which is shepherded by our Community Violence Intervention Center, are increasing safety. Our response and enforcement blankets the community on four wheels, on bikes, on foot, on snowmobile tracks, embedded in our neighborhoods, and assisting in our schools. To protect and serve, we proudly partner with so many of you to serve those who need it most. Community partners, like the United Way, stand guard to protect the health and welfare of our citizens and help facilitate community discussion on critical issues, like supporting our most vulnerable families and building financial independence. This year's partners, including the Grand Forks County and City Health Department, helped culminate years of work to open the new Northern Valley Dental Clinic. Operated by the Valley Community Health Centers of Northwood and Larimore, the clinic has served over 300 patients, mostly without Medicare or insurance. And there are many who need to be recognized for this, but we need to recognize Deb Swanson for her helping us get to the finish line. Thank you. And we continue to provide services that promote a positive quality of life with emphasis on safety. And yes, our mosquito control program is great. It's made it possible to enjoy outdoor barbecues, but there's a more serious health implication. The rate of frequency of West Nile virus in Grand Forks County was 1/13 that of the statewide rate. It's nice not to get mosquito bites. It's healthy not to get West Nile. We've implemented new technologies to serve you better and more efficiently. We've implemented a wireless system for the city that just 3 years ago seemed like a dream. The result is that police can now access information and do reporting from their vehicles. Fire can look up chemical and floor plan information on accident sites. And electricians no longer have to make multiple trips between a signal outage and the public works facility. All this translates to dollar savings in fuel and time and the safety factor of a quicker response. Our Public Information Center and IT staff upgraded the city's website and GFTV Channel 2 to provide citizens with more access to information. We take our commitment to open and accountable government quite seriously. Well, that's some look at the government activity. So what do the numbers look like? First, our local economy is strong and primed for growth. Don't take my word for it. Notable local economist Ralph Kingsbury pronounced that all the reports for the local Grand Forks economy continue to range from good to excellent. From good to excellent. Even for Lutheran Norwegians, that's something to almost brag about. The windshield indicators tell the story. Building permits continue to peak near the $100 million mark. Sales tax collections soar, and so do hotel occupancy rates. Births are at record levels. Now, as an obstetrician, that's what I like to hear. Our population continues to grow. We broke the mark of 54,000 and are boasting a population that reaching 55,000. Word is getting out that this is a great place to live, learn, work, and play. It's unanimous. Well, almost unanimous, but National Geographic's getting an earful right now. So please add to that earful. Our sales tax collections are 30% higher than last January and more than 12% above the previous 12 months total. Some of the forces that drive these increases are in our control and some are not. Together with the Convention and Visitors' great work, we're tending to the ones that are. Our promotion as a destination city may have raised a few eyebrows at first, but I think numbers like these, the raised eyebrows now turn to raised collections and raised hopes. To forecast and prepare for major future costs, the Council and I have implemented and adopted a 6-year plan of budgeting. We're investing to keep costs at a minimum now and in the future. This 6-year plan includes the conclusion of a wastewater master plan, a solid waste plan, and capital needs plan, and other rather stimulating topics to map our assets and prioritize the needs over a long time and thus save money. We're forever grateful to have council members like Kurt Kruen and Art Bakken who actually enjoy working on this stuff. Isn't that right, Kurt? Thank you, Kurt and Art. The plans we put in place now save us money in the long run by investing over time. In the short term, however, the biggest concern is rising property taxes. We have had some success in trimming here and there, but I recognize there needs to be more relief, especially for those on limited and fixed incomes. When the bill goes up, taxpayers don't care as much about what the city, park, schools, county, and state are doing individually as they do about the total impact and how we're working together to soften the blow. By now, we must recognize that finger pointing is not the solution. Instead, there must first be a unified acknowledgement of the problem. Then we each need to continue to find all sizes of efficiencies, like the 5 positions the city cut from this year's budget, trimming nearly $100,000. Or because of the many employee initiatives that have reduced the frequency and severity of workplace injuries, the employees have earned a credit of over $500,000 back to our workers' comp premium. That's impressive. Finally, we need to work together, including state legislators and the governor, on what is obviously a statewide problem to find a unified statewide solution. One entity that has saw great success this last year was the Alerus Center. The Event Center Commission has performed extremely well. They set a course to provide a premier facility for entertainment, convention, and visitors attractions, but also to streamline operations. This year's work by the staff and by the Commission's restructuring strategy resulted in a cost-effective operational budget that came out in the black. Nice work to everyone at the Alerus, and welcome to new director, Steve Hyman. The Alerus Center also laid out a welcome mat for the new next-door neighbor. The grand opening of the Canada Inn Destination Center was something heavily anticipated and well worth the wait. Leo Ledahowski and Tara Sokolic were some of the first to embrace the idea of a destination city, and we're certainly some of the first to invest in the idea. So thank you, Leo and Terrace. Thank you very much. And I think your hotels have the beacon of hospitality, so now I want to thank you for an outstanding hotel complex and an entertainment complex that now establishes our entire city as a beacon of hospitality. I'm also very optimistic that it won't be long before we see even more development on this 42nd Street corridor. While we celebrated new partners, we also made sure to invest in our existing longtime trusted friends. Led by John Marshall and our congressional and state leaders, we kept a close eye on the relationships and plans that will affect our friends at the Grand Forks Air Force Base and ensure that they will continue to be friends and neighbors for a long time to come. We're focusing on the UAV mission, fighting for new tankers, and proceeding with the work of the Realignment Base Impact Committee. We're determined to continue our role in the nation's defense and make the most of opportunities that will support the communities in our region that depend on the base for coworkers and friends. In the same vein, the airport remains at the top concern and a top priority of our community. Council President Gershman and the Airport Authority are rigorously seeking out new air carriers, improved flight times, and facilities that add value. Initiatives include plans for a new terminal that will use no new tax dollars. The airport supports the quality of life for our businesses and our residents. It's important that we reciprocate and fly Grand Forks. People are the essence of a community. Where they live, our housing stock, is the backbone of a community. Housing has been a priority on a variety of fronts this year, and we've continued to invest in the entire continuum of housing, from homelessness to affordable workforce housing to future developments. First and foremost, we focused on what we can do to stabilize our existing neighborhoods. What a wonderful response we had with the Mayor's Urban Neighborhood Initiative in the near north side. Ward 3 Representative Glassheim, the Office of Urban Development, including Project Coordinator Katie Osborne, the Police Department, and especially the people who live there, have been an incredible inspiration. The citizen members have stood up to say, "My neighborhood is important. I will invest my energy and my time to keep it strong." And good ideas bring out partners. Private companies, nonprofits, and national foundations have also focused on this area under a common vision, a common goal, and we are achieving together. Gate City Bank, UND, and Dr. Rackhouse Center for the Community Engagement, and others like the Knight Foundation are working with neighbors on how to best reinvest in the neighborhood. In fact, the Knight Foundation, always a stalwart supporter of Grand Forks, has yet again stepped up to the plate and is going to bat for our community. Under the leadership of Sue Ann Fraser and Sheila Bruin of the Community Foundation and Knight's project director, Ann Corriston, a $100,000 grant from the Knight Foundation has been awarded to further engage the neighbors and implement grassroots strategies to reinvest and strengthen the neighborhood. Thank you very much. This model of neighborhood reinvestment can then be used in other areas to strengthen them, ensure quality places for families, and secure our workforce housing stock. We've also made housing a priority in the downtown area, and this has led to both residential and commercial success. Residential developments like the Brownstones and the Current Apartments, opening in just 2 weeks with over 67 units, energized what was once a sleepy downtown and helps create an urban atmosphere the likes of much bigger cities. Some of our most committed business people and community advocates work and now live downtown. We thank them for their dedication and for encouraging further success. Of course, our physical boundaries will continue to expand, and I think we should support further development behind our existing retail corridor on 32nd Avenue South. This is where we can spur greater commercial investment and development specifically paralleling the interstate. Then we can go further and encourage and promote mixed-use workforce housing for our new jobs, working in conjunction with other elements like the Park District for a wellness center, and our vision for a long-term living campus for our maturing population. Speaking of the maturing population, they're a critical group of our residents, so we're continuing our effort to ensure Grand Forks is a place where they can and comfortably and affordably call home. We've established the partnership with the Service Providers for Seniors and Senior Citizen Center with its director, Colette Eisminger, to thoroughly account for all the services and programs available to seniors. Soon this treasure chest of information will be available on a new city's hosted website. Our next phase will be a public forums on what our seniors, and many seniors like us to be, will be expecting as far as services in the next 5 to 10 years. We're working on housing from every angle. This year we worked with over a dozen community stakeholders to draft a 10-year plan to end homelessness. This is a plan that aligns partners and focuses resources that will free future resources to address the next issue. It's being presented to the City Council, and I'm sure they'll move it forward in the most appropriate fashion. This year, over 50 new low-income homeowners achieved the American dream. We provided them with nearly $600,000 in down payment and closing cost assistance. A total value of the houses they purchased was around $5 million. That's leveraging some real money. Let me recognize the Grand Forks Housing Authority and the Promenade Housing Development. Since May 2005, 36 homes have been purchased. Building on this success, infrastructure for Promenade's second phase has been installed. When completed, there'll be 125 affordable homes available. So I want to say congratulations to the Housing Authority Board, and in particular to Terry Hansen, its Executive Director. We need to be bold in strengthening this workforce housing stock, but we also need to expand our housing for the new jobs we'll be creating. Over the past few years, we've added over 1,500 new jobs to the industrial sector with just the companies affiliated with the Grand Forks Region Economic Development Corporation. They've done an outstanding job defining our mission: build job growth on our existing strengths. Klaus Thiessen, Keith Lund, and the EDC board have demonstrated great vision and great success. We must also be concerned about having the appropriate resources for economic development to work. The right infrastructure, availability of land can make a difference in how many well-paying jobs we'll create. Council member and Growth Fund Committee Chairman Doug Christensen has been a solid champion of having the right tools in our economic toolbox, and this will be a very important role as we continue to enhance our industrial potential. The statewide challenge Grand Forks shares is a shortage in workforce. To expand it, housing is the key. So are wages, so are taxes, so is the right quality of place. That's why we continue to support the arts, ArtWise, the Alara Center and the Ralph, a vibrant downtown, special events, and recreational opportunities like the Greenway. A recent study by the State Interim Workforce Committee shows that 90% of respondents believe North Dakota is a great place to raise a family, while less than 70% think it's a fun place. So we're working to change that. On these efforts, we'll build quality of place, not just for new workers, but for you workers. One method our community has yet to focus on building new workforce is immigration. There's a great potential here. Of course, this will take a community effort to review the resources currently available and those that are needed to be welcoming. We must work to attract them, but we must also be able to accommodate them. We can also grow our workforce in our own backyard. At any given time, the Red River Corridor boasts over 43,000 post-secondary students enrolled in various programs at our technical colleges and universities. This is a great place to focus on finding quality workers. And we've been fortunate to have the steady leadership of President Capcella at the helm of UND for these past 8 years, especially in encouraging research and the students' links to career paths. I want to thank him for being here today, and I want to wish him well as he moves on to new challenges. And we'll miss, yes? And we'll miss your leadership and your friendship and even your singing. And I'd also like to encourage you to let the Iron Chef of Grand Forks, Adele, come back and defend her title. We also want to welcome Dr. Robert Kelly, the incoming UND president. We hope that our strong partnership with the administration will continue and we can further align our missions to grow the university's enrollment, prestige, and its role in creating career paths to meaningful job opportunities. In the area of business development and job growth, it's clear we achieve together. We are working with Governor Hoeven and the state centers of excellence in the fields like aerospace, life sciences, and energy to capitalize on our existing strengths to provide not only cutting-edge research and education, but linking them with real jobs with real living wages. One tangible example of this partnership is the construction of the new $14 million, 50,000 square foot Center for Life Sciences and Advanced Technology building that is already underway. Our partnering with Senator Dorgan and his inspired brainchild, the Red River Valley Research Corridor, has already provided remarkable success. We can do more and support this growth. Council President Gershman has proposed a partnership between the cities, economic development entities, universities, and the state of North Dakota to broadcast the research corridor and all the amazing things that are happening. This is a great idea, and we should pursue it. A national marketing campaign will reinforce that the best and brightest are right here in the Red River Valley. This will continue to attract the best professors and researchers, the best students, the best new companies investing in research, commercialization, and overall development of our region. The world knows the name Silicon Valley and Research Triangle. In Gershman's words, let's be bold. We can't afford not to. With purpose and resolve, I believe in the next 5 to 10 years we can make the words Red River Valley Research Corridor evoke the same inspiration and esteem. There are more steps we can take to create new opportunities, steps I call opportunities out of thin air. Our community is already fortunate to be the home of the exciting work performed by the people at the Energy and Environmental Research Center, headed by Jerry Grunwald. In addition to the National Hydrogen Center, I would like to work with our congressional delegation to develop Grand Forks as a national wind energy research center. This can align efforts of various aspects of wind energy research, such as wind to hydrogen, and greater wind efficiency to the development of cutting-edge systems for capturing our hardy friend, the North Dakota wind. Opportunities out of thin air. Second, should work again with our state and congressional leaders to develop our community as the Composite Development Center of North America. Composites are materials like fiberglass that are the building blocks of wind turbines and aircraft bodies. This focus matches the companies existing already here like LM Glass Fiber and Cirrus with the educational fields and students like UND Engineering School and Northwest Community Technical College. We can work together to develop a curriculum to innovate, create, and incorporate the next generations of composites. Opportunities out of thin air. Finally, we should work to continue with our work with our community partners to further advance our efforts to establish a key national center for unmanned aerial systems. Grand Forks must play a leading role in the development, testing, and incorporation of the UAV's increasing importance in our national security efforts. We have a high-caliber team in place already. Dean Bruce Smith and the Aerospace Foundation lead in their field. With the Air Force, we look for more opportunities to come, more opportunities out of thin air. This past year, I was proud to initiate the Green 3 Grand Forks effort to 1, clean the environment, 2, increase efficiency, and 3, save money. Energized by passionate eco-leaders like Dr. Dexter Perkins, it became clear that Grand Forks could not sit in the sidelines of this exploding effort. There's a ferment of leadership in our nation's cities, and I'm committed that Grand Forks has a role in this energy transformation. We will be resourceful, pragmatic, and we will achieve together. This is a historic time that will be regarded by generations to come as the turning point when America seized its own energy future, when our country altered its course from being energy reliant to energy resourceful and drove energy development through good old-fashioned American qualities of determination and, of course, innovation. And I always feel guilty because I didn't get Bruce Chovey's permission to use the word innovation. I think he has it copyrighted because I always see his name with innovation. Thanks, Bruce. There's a talented and motivated committee in place of over 20 members led by Green Energy Czar Melanie Parvy-Bybee and project manager Green Matt Bonzer, who are coordinating the actions to recommend what will go to the City Council. We're already working with local and private partners, from private companies to utility providers, and making strides on areas like lighting, heating systems, recycling, paperless administration, and transportation. For example, a 10 to 15% efficiency in our city's annual $1 million fuel bill will have a major impact, and we've not yet scratched the surface. Just think, if we can save each homeowner $25 a month through efficiencies in city government, combined with $25 a month they can save with individual actions, like those curly light bulbs, then every household will see a real benefit. On top of that, we're in a position to take advantage of career path opportunities of green-collar jobs. We know these are good jobs because many already exist in Grand Forks, with the likes of UND, EERC, LM Glass Fiber, Cirrus, and BBI International. The energy wave will create more of these jobs, and we need to be in a position to capture them. We're building growth, building jobs, and building leaders. The last point I want to emphasize today is how much we invest in each other. Grand Forks is fostering the development of new leaders and therefore adding new perspectives and insights to our community conversation. We've developed paths for dozens of new young leaders through opportunities like the Near North Side Committee, the Youth Commission, the Cabinet on Young People, and the Green 3 Grand Forks Resource Committee. Others, like the Greater Grand Forks Young Professionals, are groups of engaged and energized leaders who, with our support, can continue to build the community as a place workers want to be. Leaders come in all sizes, like 13-year-old Ali Karpenko, whose compassion and devotion has ignited a community-wide effort to build a boundless playground for children of all abilities. When she talks about the playground, you know the words are from her heart. A committee has rallied behind her, and now so has the community. We've embraced her as a leader, embraced her genuine idea, and embraced the fact that we will make this playground a reality. In fact, there's no more investment more worthy than investment in our young people. Through a boundless playground, the Cabinet of Young People, the Youth Commission, the It's Not Okay campaign against underage drinking, we are making the investment. Again, if you don't believe me, how about the fact that all of your work has earned Grand Forks the recognition as one of the 100 best communities for young people by America's Promise for the 3rd year. So let's give yourselves a hand. We invest in our young people. We invest in opportunities through the Youth Commission and through our sister and Friendship City efforts. Efforts that reinforce a worldview and resulted in over 100 Grand Forks high schoolers taking part in the National 17. Mai Parade in Sarpsborg, Norway. Opportunities for homestay exchange in Kanama, Japan reinforce to our children that they should continually push themselves and their influence is not simply confined to our borders. In fact, we're helping Kanama find a language teacher to help them learn English in their schools. They want someone from our area because of our relationship and because they trust the characteristics we embody. If someone's looking for an opportunity to experience Japan and put your stamp on the world, Kanama has a job for you. We're also partnering with our community members who also have the distinction of being college students. It's reassuring that our communities and country's future experienced this caliber of leaders. Their energy and initiative bode well for all of us. And we have partnered with the UND student government and UND Justice in the Just Say Hi program, and joint meetings have produced greater dialogue, understanding, and partnership in the neighborhoods. More than talking the talk, student and city leaders, including Councilmember Mike McNamara, walked the walk as they went door to door to reinforce clear communication and the fact that Grand Forks is a blend of diverse people with different interests and backgrounds. What greater leadership we have in people like Commissioner Amanda Kaler, President Fisher, Vice President Jordan Burr, and the senators who graciously meet with us on a regular basis. I want to say welcome and thank you. So we possess the resources to strengthen the very fiber of our community. We can provide the safety net to those who are in need and support the efforts and organizations that represent our core values of family, security, independence. We have the heart and the can-do spirit that are embodied in our 54,000 plus residents. What I propose then is a means to quantify our Grand Forks spirit, reinforce each person's role, and to remind ourselves what community really means. I am issuing a 1,000,000-hour challenge. 1 million hours, March 1st of this year to March 1st of next year, to invest in the community and reinvest in ourselves. Do the math, that's 20 hours per capita of public service. This includes volunteering through your child's school, coaching, sitting on a nonprofit board, or serving on a service club. Many, if not all of you, already contribute and have been for many years. We coach Sunflake Soccer, we wrap presents for strangers, we teach Sunday school, we ring the Salvation Army bells at the holidays. This challenge is a way to recognize that what you give, what we give, add up. We're joined today by Sue Scholes from the Grand Forks First Link office and Sarah Lepp, the North Dakota Valley Coordinator. Theirs is an important organization whose mission is to match volunteers with opportunities. We'll be partnering with them on this challenge and getting the word out about First Link and how to bridge agencies with volunteers. This challenge is also an opportunity to do even more. One way is to engage our children, perhaps with a goal of service hours or volunteer recognition week. With every challenge comes opportunity. I'm proposing both. Working together, we have over 50,000 oars in the water. As we now turn our eyes to the horizon of our future and look to the opportunities of a not-so-distant shore, we set our course. Some thought it was never possible to make Grand Forks a destination city, but we have, together. Look at hotel occupancy rates, sales tax revenue, and the number of visitors coming to be a part of that something special we have going on. Look at the fact that the world will again be at our door. The World Curling Championships once more elevate Grand Forks to the international stage as we host the teams and their fans from around the globe. It's a chance to rock the Ralph, and it's a chance to rock the world. We believed in ourselves, we invested in each other, and we have achieved together. Strong, vibrant, primed. I understand this is an important role of this office is to administer and help create policy. That's fundamental. But there's more. There's a role to convey a vision, to unite the divided, and to inspire. There's a role to champion, to lift up the ideas that propel this community. We know that by dreaming, by pushing, by challenging, and in turn by entrusting, empowering, and believing, we reach new heights. Good is not good enough. Grand Forks is a place of excellence. We strive for more, and we're better today than we were before. There's a confluence of energies and a crescendo of confidence building from a record that shows we meet our challenges. Our community is unified in partnership and in purpose. Believing in ourselves, investing in each other, achieving together, that is the state of Grand Forks, North Dakota. Thank you.